It's me, Miranda. So today, I just wanted to tell you that my friend, her name is Dana, he's running for executive vice president for your Filipino club. So if you think that she will be a good good person to be, then you should vote for her because she wants to support everyone and everything they do. So if you want to vote for her, then it will be perfect. It's like he was like, oh.
So you're next.
Oh, okay.
Alright. Uh-oh.
What up, UFC? My name is Gabby, and I'm running to be the next EVP. And I only got 30 seconds to say that I'll support y'all in every type of way. And I got experience on this officer board, and I pray to Jesus, my God and Lord, that He'll give me the chance to show you what I know. But one thought, I'm not trying to be a rapper though. So I can't follow up any of that. I can't rap, and I'm not as bold as Dana and with Kylie Jenner. But anyway, I had this like script written, but I'm not gonna say it anymore. But basically, when I first came here at Siao, I really didn't know anyone here, and definitely as I started to know people, the executive vice president my year reached out to me and really told me, you know, Raelene, like, what are you here for, and who do you want to know, and what do you want your UFC year to be? And so I want to be that person that reaches out to other members and makes that experience for me, and that I remember 3 years down the road. I want to be someone that you can approach and talk to and be with. Okay.
So, historically, the vice president or executive vice president position is like typically has like the connotation that it's behind the curtains work, like no one really notices. In contrast to the president, which is like the face, right? So, how do you plan to make an impact?
So, like what you said, EVP is kind of behind the scenes, and they don't really have like a set description on what they're supposed to do for the school year. So one of the things that I really want to do if I were to be chosen as EVP is have something set that I'm going to commit to the whole entire school year. So one of those being, I think, to have like the social schedules of all the officers, so we know when all of us are free. So if we also needed help on something, we don't have to ask everyone on the group me who's available. We can just look on that thing and see who's available, and that's there for us, and to update that quarterly. In addition to that, I think there's so many things that the president does that they could probably assist with. So I'd work closely with the president and just the executive board, and closely with them before the school year even starts, and to see if there are anything that I could possibly do as my job to help take the weight off someone else's shoulders. For example, president, everyone reaches out to Robert from other people because that's the first thing that they see is president UFC. So if there's anything like underneath the umbrella of president that would be passed on to me at the beginning of the school year that I can commit to, then I think that would make the EVP role more solidified and concrete, and have responsibilities throughout the school year, besides just supporting the club.
I think one way that I would make an impact is something that Ian has done really well this year is to make connections with a lot of people, not just in the club, but outside the club.
The ideal UFC experience, if they're involved with UFC all 4 years.
Ideal. Well, I think there's the ideal experience that every single year, all 4 years, you're going to be 100% dedicated to something. But something that I've learned as being a member of UFC and holding leadership roles, that every single year something happens and something changes and something is going to impact you a certain way. So if I were to say how the ideal experience of being part of this club in 4 years would be, it's definitely family-oriented and definitely relationship-oriented. There were so many times when, like for example, last year, my sophomore year was like one of the hardest years of my life. And just like one check-in from one of my close friends, Ian, he just asked me and looked at me, he's like, Raelene, like, how are you doing? I haven't seen you at all, like at UFC, like I know you're doing stuff for Barrio, but I haven't seen you, like how are you doing? And in that moment, I realized that even though I wasn't really an active participant in UFC, there was still someone like who has my back. So definitely, it's the most ideal experience is definitely having the relationships. Even if you don't think that they're there for you, they're there for you. So that's the ideal experience as a member of UFC for 4 years.
I agree with Raelene that relationships and like the family aspect of UFC is one of the like defining things that make your UFC experience. And I also think that one of the important things is probably like just Barrio, because it's the one thing that makes or like brings everybody back together. And every year, even though it's kind of like the same, it's still different. And just that thing that helps us come back to or bring us back together every year, that's what makes our experience better.
We're going to get a question from Kuiwayo.
This year was the first year that we had VP of Activities and VP of Finance. Well, we renamed them. Do you think that you're qualified to support those who run as well as the president?
Yes, I do. I think, like you said, that this job is about being supportive. So it's not just about supporting the president, it's about supporting everybody in the club, especially those in the executive positions, and yeah.
I definitely think I'd be able to support them. I was VP of Finance this year, so I do have that experience firsthand on knowing what the VP of Finance has to do and different budgets and different deadlines that they need to manage throughout the school year. So I definitely would keep them accountable and make sure they're upholding their responsibilities. And as far as VP of Activities, I was also on exec board this year, so I work closely with Rochelle and kind of seeing behind the scenes what it takes to plan something and make sure people are there. And just past experience as an RA, there's so many events that I planned that like people didn't show up to. So I'll use that experience as obviously to strengthen my experience if I were to be EVP to help out VP Activities in any which way I can.
And as president this year, I just wanted to ask you guys a question. Coming that you're running for an exec board position, I'd expect that you guys would understand the mission statement of our club. So what part of the mission statement do you believe that you don't strongly exhibit yourself? And therefore, what can you do to try and improve that if you were to become executive vice president?
I believe part of the mission statement says taking our like Filipino roots and like spreading it around the community. So one of the examples of that is Barrio, but aside from Barrio, I can't think of anything else that we advertise for the rest of the community to attend. So definitely something that I would want to do is not only make it known that Barrio is one of our main activities, but invite other people from other clubs to come join our meetings. Or if we were to plan new events, or the VP Activities for next year were to plan an event that's open to the community, I definitely would invite them. I would invite people from other clubs and different organizations that are just not cultural, but just SU Club in general, because we're not just a community with other cultural clubs, we're a community with like everyone else here at SU. So that's definitely something that I would think is one of the most important parts of our mission that I think is lacking.
Yes, I would agree with Raelene. Reaching out to others about the Filipino culture besides barrio, and like I've said, a big part of our culture is food, and so I think besides food, you could just to reach out to the other clubs and communities through other like events and stuff.
Okay, thank you.